Yo, what is going on, guys? This is Pothead here, and today I'm coming in with a little crazy video. I thought I would drop one of my most crazy stories because y'all have been showing a ton of support. This is definitely going to be a two-parter. It's super long, but this is part one of the time that I did fentanyl. Let's get straight into it. And I think a lot of people have done fentanyl and they haven't known it, but anyway, I'll get into that later in the video. This all starts after one night of Willie and I just doing a ton of Xans all night. So we wake up just fiending for more Xanax. We had done all of our Xans. It was like we woke up at like 6 a.m. for something. We might have not even slept, to be honest with you. All I know is that he hit up this, like, eventually we found someone who was up and was serving Xans, and it was this stripper bitch that he went to high school with. Well, stripper woman. I don't want to degrade anybody here. I love girls who do anything. That's just how I talk. I'm sorry. We go over to the stripper's house, and she serves us 5 bars for $20. And bear in mind, we were there before she went to work. It was like 9 a.m., bro. But anyways, so we buy 5 bars for $20, $4 a bar. So right off the rip, I thought something was fishy. Willie gets back to the car because he went up and talked to her with the money, and me and the other homies. I was with like 3 other people, but they don't matter at all in the story. It's literally just about me and Willie, so I'm not even gonna bother talking about them. So I'm just in the car with them. He comes back with these 5 fucking chalk squares or chalk rectangles or whatever. But they said Xanax on them. They had the 2 on the back, and this was back literally like, I think I was like 15 years old maybe. So never do Xans, by the way, ever, if you can avoid them. They're terrible. And never do pressed ones either, please. They're so bad. I lost like 2 years of my life to pressed Xans. That shit was awful. But anyways, this was before I had any knowledge of it. I said Xanax on the front, had the 2 on the back. So I was like, okay, well, these look way different than any ones I've ever had, but I'll definitely try a quarter. So I pop a quarter, and Willie does a whole. He pops a whole one. After that, I don't remember anything. And then my memory kind of comes back, and we're in like an IHOP booth, and there's like a plate of food in front of me, but it's just me, Willie, and the person who was driving, whose name is fucking Greg. I think that was it. The other 2 kids we were with were just in the cars, and maybe they didn't have money for food. We were all broke as fuck back then. So anyway, so I eat this food just so high, like I feel like I'm floating the whole time, like floating, like can't feel my legs, like kind of how I feel like in my Percocet video, because I was off an opiate. Fentanyl is an opiate. So I feel great though. Like at this point, like I'm feeling amazing. I'm having a ton of fun, like laughing, like because I guess I dosed it correctly somehow. Luckily, you can get super unlucky, but Willie is absolutely acting a fool. He's like going up to random people in this IHOP, and like he saw this one girl in this booth across from us who he thought was really cute. By the way, she was not cute, but he was super just off the shits, and he just went up to her and just started saying like, "Oh, you're so hot, like I'd love to," like, and it was weird, bro. Anyways, he's not normally like that. He's a good kid, but he was off the fentanyl. It was weird, bro. We eventually leave the IHOP, and we want to go smoke somewhere because we're all just finished eating this huge greasy meal, and we're super high on opiates, but we think it's Xanax, and we just like some weed would do us so good. So we decided to go to this park. It's near the high school that I was going to at the time. We pull up to the park. It's pretty full. There's a lot of people. So we go smoke somewhere. I can't really remember. I think we just like walked around and smoked. It was around this like pond kind of. I think, yeah, it's a pond. It was around a pond. On our way back, after we smoked, on our way back to the car, we see this guy on like a weird like penny board, like, you know, those like weird skateboards that aren't really skateboards, but they're like cheap skateboards. And he was trying to do a kickflip. Willie, being, you know, the good skater that he is like, I can do that. And I was like, no, please don't. And he's like, goes up to the guy, he's like, yo, can I try? And he tries to do a kickflip, and I'm pretty sure he like kickflipped, but he didn't land it, and the board like went flying in some direction, and the guy got all mad or something, it was some dumb ass shit like that. So the board goes flying off or something like that, and Willie's like, yo, I'm sorry, and brings the board, brings it back to him, and then we go and we start walking back to the car. And we get back in the car, and you'll see this in the video, but I do have a video evidence of this. You won't see it all, but you'll see a little clip of it. We get back into the car. I'm in the middle to sit on the right of me in the back seat, and he's yelling some shit back at this guy. And he finally gets in the car. I'm like, yo, what's wrong? He's like, no, nothing. It's whatever. He closes the door, and literally Like a fucking movie, bro. Like some horror movie. The car starts getting surrounded by like 6 people. I had no idea there was this many people here involved with this guy. But they all just block off all the fucking doors and exits besides the one where Willie is. And his window's down. And we're in, keep in mind, we're in a fucking steamer. Like, this is a $500 car at best. So the windows don't work. Like, you have to pull the window up if you wanted to go up. So there was no way, like, he was just zipping that shit up and, you know, blocking that shit. So the guy just starts beating the shit out of him. Like, you'll see a little bit in the video.
What's up, nigga?
Okay, but is he?
Nothing. What's up, nigga?
Nothing.
Whose jacket is that? Whose jacket is that? Whose jacket is that, my nigga? Hop out the car.
What the fuck, bro?
Chill.
Just through the fucking window. Fucking takes Willie's shoes like a fucking, like a terrible person. Like a goddamn awful person. And knocked his tooth out and shit all over just some fucking verbal shit. Which is just ridiculous in my opinion, especially considering we were in like a fucking like white privileged neighborhood area. Like, that shit was not a good idea for him. I'm pretty sure he got arrested or something, but I was so faded for so long because the day after this, some terrible shit happened to me. But that's going to be in the part 2 of this video. So Willie's bleeding out of his mouth a ton. He's walking around all, like, mad, just super mad that he lost his shoes and just, like, steaming furious. He takes his shirt off and he goes and starts like punching the fences everywhere, and we're like walking around and he's just yelling at people, and I'm just like with him, just like telling people like, yo, keep moving, like my friend is tripping, I don't know what the fuck is going on. And bro, like by the end of this like rampage, like I'm not gonna go into all of it because that shit was not a good look for my boy, but at the end of it, like all of his knuckles were bleeding, his mouth was bleeding, he was missing a tooth. I was like, yo, you gotta go to the hospital. And he didn't have his phone on him. And we literally left our homie Greg, who was driving, and the rest other kids in the car because I had to go fucking chase Willie. He just wouldn't listen to us. He just ran off. So we're alone. I have my phone. Willie has nothing. It's all in Greg's car. We don't know where Greg is. And I'm just like, what the fuck do I do? I tried calling Willie's mom. She doesn't answer. So I'm just like, I'm going to have to call an ambulance. Like, there's no other option for me here. So I call an ambulance. In the meantime, when the ambulance is coming, Willie's mom calls me back or something because they pull up somehow. Willie eventually doesn't end up going in the ambulance because he doesn't want to spend the money. So the ambulance leaves, and we go to the hospital with Willie's mom. I don't really remember anything about the hospital, just that it took forever, bro. And it was just annoying. But I was just still high as fuck off this quarter bar I took, which if you know Xanax, that would not make sense. It was like 10 hours later, and I was still high as fuck. Like, high as fuck. So we finally got out of the hospital. Meantime of us being in the hospital, I had met Greg at the hospital and got Willie's belongings. They were all paranoid because they didn't want to get caught in the fucking hospital for being high or something. Some stupid shit like that. I don't know. We were kids back then. So I had Willie's shit. I gave it to him. I went to go back to Willie's house with him to get high, you know, smoke some weed and shit. And I think that's where I'm going to end this episode. If you guys want to hear the second part of this story, I'm going to need 30 likes. It gets crazy. There's a car crash involved, and there's definitely some more drug use involved that's not fentanyl. But this was the time that I did fentanyl. And yeah, hope you guys have a great day. Peace.